Hello and welcome to this video showing you how to do the Excel spreadsheet for experiment 12. Okay, so you should type it as you see on the screen. You should type it as you see on the screen, and then of course let me just run you through these cells. This cell A6 contains length, bracket meters. This cell B6 contains time for 20 cycles, bracket seconds. This cell for C6 contains period, bracket seconds. This cell for D6 contains frequency in hertz, and then you realize that this cell E6 is exactly the same as the previous. These three cells are the same as exactly the previous three cells. So what you can do is actually just select these three, copy, and then you paste. Okay, and then you will get back your once you typed in this one, you can just paste and you get it here. Yeah. Okay, and then what happens is that additionally you will enter here mass equals 10 grams at cell B5 and mass equals 20 grams at cell E5. Okay, so now if you need some time to do the rest of this spreadsheet, okay, you can pause this video and then continue when you're done. Okay, so are you done? Okay, welcome back. Yes. Okay, so now we notice that we have the same problem here. We don't see the entire sentence here. We don't see the entire sentence here. So last week we learned that one of the features of doing so is to use the wrap text feature. Now we had to use the format cells feature to wrap text, right? And then we format cells, alignment, click wrap text. Okay. So let me just show you a faster way here. It's just to select these cells, then click the wrap text button. Okay, so now you notice that there are some problems in the heading, like for example this Y just goes to the next line although it belongs to the word on top. So all you have to do is just drag the width of the column to make it bigger and accommodate the entire word. Next thing, it doesn't look very nice, right? The units are all to one side, so that's because the words are not centered. So just click this centered button. Okay, yep, and then the units are all one side. Okay, and then and lastly, okay, we want the cells to have borders, right? Okay, so this is the border feature. Oh, okay, but one thing before that, you notice that mass equals 10 grams, right? So for each, in your experiment, what you did was you use a string with different mass, right? Mass of 10 grams, and you recorded these the time for 20 cycles. Then you change the string to a mass of 20 grams, then you recorded the time for 20 cycles. Okay, so these three sets of data all belong to mass of 10 grams, and so I think we need some way of indicating that in our table. So what we want is to have mass equals 10 grams centered over these three columns. So we will select these three cells, click merge and center. Select these three cells, click merge and center. Okay, so now we are ready to give our page border to our table. Okay, so now we have you select this one, then select all borders. Okay, and if you like, you can have a thick box border as well. Okay, and you see okay, the border on the outside of the table is much thicker now. So now you are ready to enter your experimental data. So let me just enter mine, and I'm sure yours will be different. Okay, so mine is like something like this. Yeah, 15. Okay, and I expect that you will enter yours. Yeah. Okay, and it should, of course, it should be different because all our data, okay, is susceptible. Sorry. Yeah, our data can be affected by experimental error. Okay, sometimes I get tongue-tied. Sorry. Okay, so. Okay, so this is your time for 20 cycles. So now we want our period, which is the time for one cycle. So take this one and divide by 20. Okay, and then once you're done, you know you can just drag. And don't even have to drag, you just bring your cursor to the bottom right hand side. Okay, you see this plus sign, and then just double click. Yeah. Okay, it looks like the border is gone, but never mind, you can fix it later. So then frequency is 1 over the period. So 1 divided by the period. Press enter, and this gives you the frequency. Then bring it to the plus sign here, and just double click, or you can drag. Okay. Okay. Lastly, let's repeat. You can repeat that for the mass equals 20 grams. Okay, so period is the 20 time for 20 cycles divided by 20, double click. Okay, and frequency is 1 divided by the period. Okay, so now just double click. Yeah. Okay, so now remember our formatting. We have too many decimal places for the period and frequency. We just need 2. So why don't you just try, okay, decrease the number of decimal places for this one. Okay, and then do the same for this one, decrease the number of decimal places. Yeah. Okay, then one more thing, you'll notice that the headers are all centralized, but your numbers are not. So why don't you try to centralize all your numbers by okay, selecting all the cells and then press the center button. Okay, now looks very nice, right? Okay, so now we just have to fix the fact that the bottom is not of a thick border, so we just go back and just click thick box border, and then we are back to normal. Yeah, and then hey, maybe you want, okay, and maybe you want a thick line here. Okay, what you're going to do, okay, just select this one. Okay, so go back here. Okay, right, so let's see, you can select more borders. Okay, so now you want a thick line. Okay, so notice that over here it shows that, okay, there are 3 thick lines on this side and 1 thin line on this side. So first you go and select the type of the style you want. For example, you want this double line. Okay, and then now you click here to select that you want the left hand side to have that style of border. Okay, so now, okay, then you click OK. Okay, and there you go. So you have your left hand side. So what happens is you just created in this zone for your left hand side to have that special style of border. Okay, so now repeat it for this zone where we want to have the left hand side. Okay, so we just more borders. Okay, so now we want this style and we want it on the left hand side. Okay, there we go. Yep, so that's how we can have the formatting. Okay, so now once you are done with the formatting, okay, so now you are ready to answer the questions. Okay, for example, from your results from part 4 or part 5, so you say as, okay, the pendulum, as the length of the pendulum, as the period, okay, what happens to the period? As the length increases, the period increases, right? Obviously. Okay, increases. Okay, and then 6b, so you make the similar observation for the frequency. So you can just copy and paste because the words are similar. But okay, let's fix the spelling here. The period increases. Okay, and then for now to edit it, just double click the cell, bring the cursor here. The period increases, right? Or no, what we want is the frequency, right? Frequency, okay, decreases. Okay, now oh, sorry, it says 6a and it's still 6a. Yeah, it's just part 1 and part 2. Now you can answer 6b. Okay, why do you need the time for 20 cycles? So we can carry on. Yeah, we need to time for 20 cycles because, okay, and you will complete the reason, and this is the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching, and this is the last video on Excel that you'll be watching. Okay, right? Bye bye.